Hello everyone, this is Stuff. You're watching Stuff HD, and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about VPNs, because on the last video we talked about passwords, and I said I wanted to do a few videos about kind of internet security, kind of for those of you that care about that type of stuff. I definitely wanted to start off by letting you guys know that I am not a professional by any means, I just, I figured things out, and I figure, maybe I can help guide some of you in the right direction if you don't know where to go. So like I said, on the last video, it was about passwords and, how I use LastPass, but there's plenty of other applications like it out there to to keep track of your passwords, which is much better than writing them down or using the same password for everything. And today I'll kind of get into that a little bit too, because here's the thing. Imagine that you are at a Starbucks, okay? You're enjoying your coffee, which this is empty. Hold on just one second. Much better. So you're your local Starbucks or Colectivo coffee or whatever, and you're having fun. You're on your computer, and you decide that you want to check out something. You want to check your bank statement for whatever reason. Most people are not able to do this, okay? But there are people, hackers, of course, that are able to log into the Starbucks or whatever internet, and then they are able to go ahead and see every unencrypted communication between the different computers. Now, they might not know exactly that this is your computer, but they might be able to see, the IP address on the computer, and they might be able to follow what that specific computer has been doing. So if you go to your bank account, for example, and again, this is when you're connected to the Starbucks or Colectivo or whatever internet. I keep saying Colectivo, that's a local Milwaukee thing, but I like it. So let's say you go to your bank account. Your bank is smart enough that they encrypt your whole communication with the website, so the hacker would not be able to see anything there. However, they know that you went to your bank account. They know that you went to chase.com or bankofamerica.com or whatever your bank happens to be. They just won't be able to see anything of what you actually did there. However, let's say that after that you go to some other website and you happen to use the exact same username and password, but this website is not encrypted. So now the hacker has a username and a password that they're like, okay, well, this person went to this bank website and then they used this username and this password on this other account, so hey, may as well try it, right? So luckily nowadays banks are, like I said, smarter, and usually they will require more authentication if it's a computer that they do not recognize. But that's not every bank. And that's not everything. With banks, yes, like I said, it's more difficult. It's not impossible, it's just more difficult. But there's plenty of other things that people could get into where it's not so difficult. So how do you go around this? That's where VPNs come into play. VPN is a virtual private network, and basically what it does is you connect to a VPN. Is where you are, let's say, on the Starbucks network, but then your computer has a encrypted connection to a different network somewhere else. So now all the communication out of the computer, the computer basically thinks that it is in some other network, and that network happens to be completely encrypted. So everything that comes out of your computer is encrypted. So the hacker is gonna be able to see that there's stuff happening, but they won't be able to know what the heck is happening because everything is encrypted. So that's one of the beautiful parts of VPNs. Like you have that little extra layer of protection. Now, a lot of people use VPNs for, some not so legal, I guess, at things. But it's not illegal. Like, it's totally legal to use a VPN. There's nothing wrong with that, especially in your house. Like everything that you do on your computer, your ISP normally knows about that. When you connect your computer to a VPN, however, your ISP doesn't know. ISPs, Internet Service Provider, they don't know what's going on because it's all hidden from them. So, that's usually a good thing, depending on how paranoid you are. So a lot of times people use VPNs. For example, I remember back in the day I wanted to buy Japanese music, and Japanese music I could only get from iTunes in Japan. So I had to connect to a VPN, and that VPN was connected in Japan. So it makes it look like my computer is actually in Japan, because like I said, when you connect to a VPN, your computer thinks that they are connected to that network. So my computer would think like it was in Japan. And then I would be able to go ahead and go into the Japan iTunes and go ahead and buy the music. I also had to set up a Japanese account, but that was not that difficult. But this is something that people tend to do. Like, for example, here.
I'm not sure I understand.
I'm not talking to you. For example, here in the United States, Star Trek Discovery, and I think Star Trek, I'm not sure about the new Star Trek one, but they are shows that in the US you have to have CBS All Access, like premium, in order to watch. I think you gotta have premium, I'm not sure. But then if you're in Mexico or anywhere else, you can just watch them on Netflix. But for whatever reason, CBS decided no, they can only watch it here in our little application. So I could go ahead and connect to a VPN in Mexico, for example, and then go to Netflix, and I would be able to watch the show. Now, it's not that simple, because websites like Netflix, they keep trying to crack down on this, because obviously they don't want people doing that. But technically, it's possible. Like, I can connect my computer over here to... This one's always connected to a VPN. I'm not gonna say why, but that one I can connect it to like a VPN in Venezuela, and all of a sudden when I go to Google.com, it thinks that I am in Venezuela. Like any website that I go to, they think that I am in Venezuela. Or Japan or whatever. This one's usually connected to Chicago, because that's the other thing. If I connect it to a VPN very far away, my connection is gonna be slower, and I don't want that. I just want the encrypted part. I don't want the slowness part. For downloading torrents, when you download torrents for TV shows or whatever, which you probably shouldn't, but that's a whole other video. You want to use a VPN, because otherwise your ISP will know what you're downloading, and they will go ahead and send you letters. Because I've got, I know people that have gotten those letters saying, hey, you downloaded this TV show on this day, and you cannot be doing that, and if you keep doing it, we'll have to cancel your service. So that's when you want to use a VPN. That way they don't know what the heck you're doing. And even then, for that specific purpose, you got to find the right VPN, because they don't like it when you're downloading a lot of information at a time, or uploading a lot of information at a time. So they have their own ways of cracking down. They might not know exactly what you're downloading, but they have their own way of saying, okay, this guy is downloading, this guy is doing shady stuff, HD. But there are VPNs that do specifically P2P, person to person, where they distribute the bandwidth or whatever it is they do in the background, so that it's harder for the ISP. So in a nutshell, that's basically what a VPN is. You're connecting your computer to another network. We do it at work, for example. Especially right now with COVID-19, we're all working from home. In order for me to connect to my company's server, to my company network, I have to connect to a VPN. And then basically my laptop over here thinks that I am in the network over there, so I can do everything here just like I would over there. But again, there's the distance factor, so it's a little bit slower. Is a VPN gonna allow you to do crime online and get away with it? No, it's not that simple. Not that you should want to do that, but You know, like I keep saying, everything on the internet, nothing is 100% private. You know, there are people that use a VPN to connect to another VPN to connect to yet another one, and then do other stuff to really encrypt their connection, and then go ahead and do some very shady stuff. But you know, it always comes down to how much law enforcement wants to know what you're doing, or somebody else. But basically, you know, the more money they throw at it, the more resources they can use, and then eventually they are going to be able to find the origin of that connection. And then they'll be able to know that it was your computer at such day, such time, and whatnot. So, you know, it just makes it more difficult. So if you're just, like I said, you know, downloading movies that you shouldn't, and you should never do, you know, they might say like, oh, he's behind a VPN, we're not gonna bother with that. So, you know, whatever, it's a lost cause. But obviously, if you use a bunch of VPNs to go on the dark web and hire somebody to kill someone else, eventually they're gonna find out it was you. Okay, like that. There's just no way that that's just gonna fly, or so I would like to think. But anyway, yeah, if you are the type of person who likes to feel a little bit more secure online, that is definitely one good option to use. Get a VPN. They're not that expensive, and you know, they work pretty good. Personally, I use what is it called? What are you? Express VPN. That's the one I've been using because it's the cheapest, better one that I found at the time. In the past, I have used NordVPN. I've been happy with all the ones I've used. There's some free ones out there that you can use on your web browser too. But you know, I'm not gonna get into all of that. Mostly because I'm not that good with it. But hey, if this is something that interests you, then go for it. VPN is just a little program that you install on your computer, and then it does its thing. It's good. If you use Google Fi for your cell phone, by the way, this ExpressVPN and NordVPN, I know that you can also run that on your cell phone. I don't, because I'm not sure if that's like doing a constant connection and it's draining my battery longer. I'm not totally sure about that. So, but I know for a fact that if you use, what's it called, Google Fi as your service provider, then they actually do a VPN, like a constant VPN to the Google network. But then Google has all your information anyway, so then it's like, do you really trust Google with your info? I don't know. Up to you. Anyway, I've talked too much already. I'm not sure what the next privacy video is going to be about, but it might actually be about privacy. Alright, I'm out of here. Hope you are all doing okay. Hope you're all staying away from the COVID-19 and, you know, staying home, social distancing. I've seen some very ridiculous videos out there. Somebody sent me a video about COVID-19 and 5G networks from a nurse. I don't know, man. Like that just doesn't add up to me. Personal opinion. I don't think it's 5G antennas causing issues out here. I think it's just a normal virus. Like, we get them every once in a while, and we reacted too slowly to this one. I don't know. Anyway, I'm out of here. Yo, take care. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Go for it. Bye.